This will be a response to Tim from OSGUI. He took the Linux tech survey, so I figured I'd take it. So the first question is, when was the first time you actually heard of Linux? I've heard about it for a while now. I'd say back in high school, freshman year, through junior year, I believe, until we got the Macs senior year. We actually had these cheap computers. I think they're called thin clients. We call them, and they sucked, and we just had Ed Ubuntu running on them. Um, and that was probably the first time I heard of it. I knew the Ubuntu slash Ed Ubuntu was from Linux, so I'd say that's the first time I heard of it. Um, Number two is, do you or have you ever used Linux? If yes, for how long? I guess on my personal time, I've been using it for since August 2008. Um, I started off with an old Toshiba laptop, um, using it until I got my PC, my desktop. So I'd say for a little over a year, almost a year and a half, 2 years. I've been using it full time only since July or August 2009 now. So, what was the first Linux distro you ever used? Um, I believe back in August 2008, it was Ubuntu 8.04. I think it was 8.4 or 8.10. I'm pretty sure it was 8.4 though. Um, how was your first time Linux experience? Being a newbie, it was definitely not easy because I was definitely the big problem I was having was with Wi-Fi. I couldn't get that to work. It might have just been the laptop or the I don't know. That was the main struggle I was having. I adapted pretty quick on how to install packages. I also had a hard time on how to add repositories and software sources. Um, Eventually, I caught on to it, and it made more sense as I used it more. So the first time experience, I'd say was so, not great, but it's definitely become better. Um, let's see. Do you agree that that Linux can efficiently do all the daily computing tasks an average user would do? I'd say for an average user, definitely, because I'd say I consider the average user as probably someone who checks their email, goes online, maybe chats, uses watches videos or plays MP3s, music. Um, so I'd say yes. Maybe I don't know about the hardcore user. It really depends on what you want to do. Like for gaming, it's not the best, but if you don't need gaming or games, I'd say it's perfect for you. Um, what's your favorite GNOME Linux distro and why? I'd probably say Linux Mint because everything's there. It's really easy to use. It's great for beginners and newbies, if you want to call them newbies. I say beginners. Um, so yeah, I'd say Linux Mint is probably one of the best, or Ubuntu for GNOME. What's your favorite KDE distro and why? I guess I could say Kubuntu because that's the only KDE distro I've used. Um, that's the only time I've tried KDE. So I guess I'll say Kubuntu, and it was nice. I haven't used it in a while, but I'll probably start using it again soon. What Linux desktop environment do you like? I prefer GNOME just because I've used it um, most of my time using Linux. I'm not that familiar with KDE or XFCE, I think it is. I haven't used XFCE. I've used KDE like once or twice, like I said, with Kubuntu. So I'd say no. Linux is A, Pro, B, Noob, or C both. I'd say it depends on what you want to do. Um, Saying Linux is kind of vague because I mean, it depends on the distro. I'd say Ubuntu is probably more, Ubuntu or Linux Mint is probably more for like the noob category or beginners. And probably distros like OpenSUSE and Fedora are probably more for pro. So I'd say C because it varies depending on what distro you want to use, at least in my opinion. What are some of the things that Linux gives you that other OSs don't? Definitely free software, obviously, because it's all open source, and you don't get that with a lot of other with other operating systems like Mac and Windows. Usually gotta pay money for stuff. What is slash are your favorite Linux applications? I don't know. I like Rhythmbox a lot. Firefox and Chrome. I know those aren't from Linux, but they're cross platform, so I use them anywhere. Let's see. Compass is cool. I don't have everything installed now, but I use VLC sometimes. I gotta install that. OpenOffice is cool. I don't know, Empathy or Pigeon. I haven't used Evolution in a while. Gotta set that up. I don't know, Gnome definitely. I like Gnome that's perfect if you want to search for something. So yeah, also Tomboy, which I'm using here, is cool. Let's see. What are some things that you would like to be improved on Linux? I don't know. I can't really think of anything. I mean, it's been working out great for me, so can't think of much. Maybe better support. It'd be nice if there was like a phone number you can call, like a 1-800 number if you're having issues. You can just talk to someone, but you can't do that. So I really don't have any complaints. It's working out perfect for me. So 13 is the last one. If those things are fixed, would you switch to Linux full time? Assuming you don't use Linux as your primary operating system. Well, I do use it as I only use Linux right now, so whether things are fixed or not, I'm using it full time. So, and I really don't have any complaints, like I said in the last question. So, yeah, Linux is stable enough for me to use it full time. So, hey, it works out. So I guess that's it, and I'll post this as a response to Tim's video.